Good afternoon. It is July 27, 2021, and we're looking at a downtrend day. Overnight highs and lows here in yellow. Pretty, as long as you stick with the downtrend, you should have been pretty safe here. I got these longs when I thought we were, ranging in the overnight. And I got this long here because I thought maybe it would be a breakout. But you know what? Maybe I should have been looking at that, because that looks accurate. And if I was playing that, yeah, I don't think I wouldn't have went long there. But I wasn't playing that, so. Then we get this long. I think this is blue. I'm okay with that. Even though the bias was clearly down. But then we get this leg down. Whoops. We get this leg down, and you definitely, we'll see if that's accurate. You definitely, after this leg down, you're definitely, don't go long. Don't go long. Here we had this one leg of correction and then this very strong leg. And I did take this, failed breakout of congestion here because the bias for that was up, and it did work. But other than that, I don't think you should be going long. So yeah, let's take a look at the trades. Similar to yesterday, unfortunately, Mac had to go over his chart real quick yesterday, so I didn't get too good of an explanation on. There was a failure early on yesterday, failed second entry short, I believe, and I marked it on my chart, and it was a poor signal bar just like this one, but he wasn't able to give too much of an explanation as to why, failure, signal bar doesn't matter on a failure. So this isn't like a failed second entry long or short. I mean, it's a second entry long, and I was looking to go long above this bar, and it didn't tick above that. It went lower, and so I actually walked away and got triggered into this trade as I had walked away, which was after this bar. So I don't know. I think I would have probably backed out, but I don't know. After this leg up, I like the second entry long off the EMA. And you got support from the midline of the overnight highs. But you know what I probably should have done was drawn my trend line from those two highs. But you have room to scalp out. So I don't know. We'll see if Mac marks that. But then we just hit this downtrend. First entry, failed second entry long. I didn't see that this was a failed second entry long in real time. I probably would have taken it, but it's definitely aggressive because of how far away from the EMA it is. But this just felt like a strong move down because, we're getting like just a small correction, some small doji bars consistently making lower lows. And, this probably 4 ticks, people like going long above bullish bar that's only 4 ticks. So probably some trapped longs there. Boom. And it's that far from the EMA, so they're thinking, oh, we need a pullback. Boom. Failure. And then we get a very nice textbook second entry short off of that trend line. So we started to make a steeper short-term trend channel. Then we broke that. First entry, second entry, off the EMA. I really like that. And first entry, failed second entry long, but I don't think you could have. It's a doji. There's overlap. It's far from the EMA, and yeah, there's just too much overlap here. Like, look at how much price rejection there is here. Not here. So I don't think you can go short there, but it worked out. Here, this is just off the overnight lows, and it's a nice bullish bar, and it's matching this low. So we tested it once, twice. So That's a like a double or triple test right there. And I got trapped going short here like a silly guy. So look, I'm thinking, okay, we don't want to go short here into the overnight lows. And then we get a first entry, second entry short, and I was like, I got to take this one though. So I was clear-headed on this one. But on this one, I'm just getting eager. And I think I just got excited because it looked like my trend channel was accurately drawn, which it was. But look, we didn't make it on this swing to the bottom of the channel. That's another reason for me to not have gone long. So if you read that right and you see this trap setting up, I think you can go long there. It's aggressive, but I think you can go long there. Failed second entry short. Yeah, it's a failed second entry short. That's the failure, yep. Even though we made a new low, first entry, second entry, fails, boom. So then we get a little like spike in channel, and I got trapped on this one too. And this is just poor judgment. I knew I shouldn't be going long here because look at that congestion. But we made a leg up, and that actually looks like 2 legs up. So that's another reason to not go long here. Even though it's not a measure. Oh, we do end up making a measured move, yeah. It just looks like this was congested, and I was like, it looks congested, but I was just getting eager, man. I don't know what else to say. And it turned out it was congested, and we get a break of this mini spike in channel, new high, and first entry, second entry, but you don't want to go failed second entry long. First of all, that's very far from the EMA, but second of all, that's into the lows of the day, and it's congestive. Get a higher low right here, but it's super congestive down here, and we traded down into that congestion. Maybe, you know what? Yeah, I didn't mark this, but this looks like I'm going to at least give this an aggressive arrow because that's like back into the daily range, the overnight range. And it's a failed second entry short. Yeah, that's a failure at the EMA even, too. Failed second entry short and it closes above the EMA. I like that. So start bouncing back and forth on both sides. First entry, second entry. I like that because it's like on top of, it's like a breakout pullback of, this looks congestive here. So at this point it looks pretty clear that prices are arranging with this slow congestive move down. It's like a mini spike in channel. We get a bounce here, and you get a lot of price rejection. We get a first entry, failed second entry short. Just a lot of rejection here, and that's why I think you can go long. But then prices turn down again right here, and when we get a lot of price rejection again, we get a first entry, second entry, failed second entry long. I think you have to go short there. There's room to these lows, plenty of room, and that gives you a great move down. So we get this big move down. No entries here. By the time we get down here, it's very far from the EMA and it's very congestive. We get a break, and maybe that's when, yeah, that's when, probably when you'd be able to get this trend line on the upper side to fit on the bottom side. You might have it drawn like this. I think the midline works better down like this, but you'd probably have it drawn like this. So we get this bounce, and I just didn't like going short here just because that was a big leg down, and this is a lot of price rejection, so I don't know. It looks like made this higher low, this is a first entry, failed second entry long here, but you're going into the lows. It would have worked, but and here we make another low. And if you have your trend line drawn, you're still making lows, so you can't be going long, but this is confirming the trend line. So we get a first entry, second entry short, just a lot of price rejection, and we're still making lower lows, and that works out. And then you get a first entry, second entry. You don't really get a good signal bar here. Second entry short right here, and this is kind of a swing high. These are higher lows, so I was a little iffy here, but then you get this higher low here, and it confirms this trend, and so I think you can go short there. Alright, so I think the last trade I talked about was this. I had to take a little break. We get a first entry, so looks like right here, it looks like prices are playing off this midline, so I would think other traders are trading this short-term downtrend. But I think once everyone realizes that this long-term trend is working and we get this double bottom here, I think that's when people start to go long. And because we get a first entry, second entry short off this trend channel, I don't know. I took this. Maybe this is too aggressive because it didn't make it to the bottom of this channel, and you know, you're kind of expecting a break, but that does work out. And then we get this higher low here, first entry, second entry long. I don't think you can go long here just because we've been trending down all day. But you know, we clearly did get a bunch of touches off of this price level, and yeah, but I don't think you can go long just yet. Then we get this sharp leg up. Get this leg up. We form some congestion, so the bias is up, and we make a first entry, second entry. It's also a failed breakout. It's just a little far from the EMA, and that's why I marked it aggressive. And that brings us into 12 o'clock. We make a leg to break the large trend for the day. You make a double test of this price level. Doesn't look like you get a setup. This is just a doji, so I don't think you can go short there. But now we have congestion, as you can see. So I'm going to try and go over my trades real quickly because I got my son with me. I'm sure you can hear him. Yeah, I took a lot of trades today. More than I should have. Okay, so yeah, I went long on an engulfing bar that, to me, this looks like a new low, first entry, failed second entry short. I went high on the engulfing bar and scalped out real quick. That was the high of the day, though. So, you know, just be careful. This is way too far from the EMA. I should not have gone long there. Get a first entry, second entry long. Like I said, I think it's okay to go long there. I just scalped out. Not sure why. Probably because the signal bar. Yeah, because the signal bar was bad. I just scalped out. Yeah, I'm okay with that, I think. We'll see if Mac marks it. Here we got, yeah, perfect, beautiful second entry short. No problems with that. I went short here into the lows of the day. Getting trapped. Just don't go short into the lows of the day. First entry, failed second entry short, but it's clearly congestive. I don't know why I went long there. Didn't even get out at break even, which I should have. Looks like I went short here. Why would I go short here? Is that first entry? I have no idea what I could have been thinking. Yeah, this here just looks like a first entry off the trend channel, and I think I was just too eager. I don't even remember that, though. Yeah, I don't know, downward bias. I think I probably thought it was a break back into congestion. So yeah, these at this point you could have been still playing this like a range and thinking these higher lows or higher lows here could be breaking back into the range. So that's what I was thinking there. Went long here on a first entry, second entry long. Yeah, it looks like we're getting support here, so I'm not too upset about this. And we're getting price rejection, so. I thought I took this long. Guess not, but yeah, I think you can take that. That's a failed second entry short. And, whoops. Well, my next trades didn't come till all the way down here, and yeah, if you remember, we made this downward trend line, but I think some traders didn't catch on that this was the bottom of the trend. So here, let's see. So 2 entries. Not sure why there's 2 entries here, but I went short on a failed second entry long, and I'm not liking that because looks like I might have entered on a oh yeah, I got out at break even. Okay. So I don't like that I entered here because it's going into the lows of the day, even though this short-term trend channel, you know, it's right off of it. I just think that's too aggressive. But I think this one's okay because there's room down to the lows. This one, first entry, second entry short. Again, I think it's too aggressive because of this short-term trend channel. We didn't get to the lows of that. And that's what I'm playing this short off of. But we have been trading down all day. And this is a lot of price rejection, second entry short, so I am going to leave that. I think that is, I don't know. That's okay. I mean, it turned out to be the last like second entry short that would have worked. So maybe I should have stayed out of that. I don't know. We'll see if Mac marks it. But at this point, here, yeah, this is an aggressive trade. But it's a second entry long, and it is a failed breakout of congestion. So I do think I do like that, even though it's aggressive. So those are the trades I took today. Let's see. I'm gonna give you one more look at the chart. And yeah, I will be back tomorrow.